Welcome to the 5 Minute Life's Questions and Lessons podcast. I am your host, Charity Youngblood, and I am so grateful that you are here with me today. Let's get started with today's topic. What are the external rewards that are preventing you from saying no? What are the external rewards that are preventing you from saying no? So, my mother, who is an avid listener of the podcast and one of my biggest supporters in life and in general, she made a comment that I give homework. These episodes are really mini courses. Anybody who's really been paying attention understands that this is educational purposes, and I might not call it homework, but we're teaching here. We're learning here. But anywho, she said that I give homework and I never actually follow up on the homework. She's like, you don't ask how the homework went. You don't check in. And so I'm like, all right, okay, that's a valid point. I'm going to go ahead and start checking in. So this check-in is actually in regards to a previous episode that we had a few weeks back. That was this is what's preventing you from saying no. And if you haven't already listened to that episode, I'll definitely put a link in the show notes. But that is basically where I asked this question. And that was, what are the external rewards that are preventing you from saying no? So when you're thinking of rewards, and if you haven't listened to that particular episode, I basically talked about this concept of rewards that we receive for doing certain things. And in this case, we're rewarded for saying yes, which is why it's kind of one of the layers of reasons why it's so difficult to say no. So, as you're thinking about an external reward for yourself, one that comes to mind for me is the accolades. So, a lot of times, if we say yes to things, to the detriment of our mental health, our energy, our time, our peace, all that, right? So saying yes to the things that you really ain't got no business saying yes to. But when you do say yes to those things, you are thought of, let's say in a business sense, you get accolades, right? You get accolades for working the hardest. Maybe you have like a plaque. I don't know. Clearly, I have never received one. But the point is that there are certain accolades that you get for saying yes, certain physical rewards that you would get, right? That's an example of an external reward. Another example of an external reward is someone outside of yourself that you respect telling you you're doing a good job, telling you that they appreciate your time, your effort, your whatever it is. And that is also known as an external validation. So if you think about this in the terms of external validation, that's basically your need for other people to tell you how awesome you are. There's nothing wrong with other people telling you how awesome you are, but when you rely on external forces, i.e., people outside of yourself to tell you those things, what happens when they don't, right? That is what this podcast is about. That is what my life's work is about, to really teach you to understand who you are and understand the value of internal rewards, internal reflection, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of where this episode came from and is going. I'm checking up on the homework assignment. So what insights came through for you when you were thinking about external rewards? And if you haven't had a chance to, here's your time, right, to go ahead and kind of explore this for yourself. And I love feedback. I really create this podcast to be of as much help as I can. So comment if you're listening to this on YouTube. Definitely send me a message on LinkedIn. If you're like, I'm stuck on this, I can't think of no external rewards, I need another episode, let me know. And I'm happy to create one. So, as always, thank you so much for listening. Please rate and review this podcast wherever you're listening to my words. And if this episode has been helpful for you, please share it. We are here on this planet to help each other. So, if it was helpful for you, please pass it along. And until next time, take care.